Airsoft Dude on production. Today I'm going to be doing the video overview of the KSC Glock 19. Now, if you guys have followed me for any amount of time, you probably know that I've either never been a fan of Glocks or just never owned one or touched one even in real life. I'm a 1911 fan at heart. You know, I've had 1911s for almost all of the time that I've been airsofting. A SOCOM Gear 1911 was my first airsoft gun ever. That was high quality, you know. I'm a fan. I am definitely a fan right now of the Glock series. My buddy Nick, one of the guys I run with a lot, he got a Glock 19, a KSC Glock 19 with some nice trades on it, and I got a pretty good deal on this, so I went for it. It's really comfortable. I'm a big fan of it. I'll be getting some more mags for it soon. I know I haven't done a video of my SIG, which I need to, the KJW SIG P229, but this gun I am a big fan of. It's really clean. It's the same size as the SIG, which I didn't take into consideration. I thought I would always like the 17 if I liked any Glock, the Glock 17. But I am definitely a fan of this. Like I said, it's the KSC Glock 19. It has the small rail on the bottom, no trades whatsoever, but it does have some pretty cool parts installed, which I am a fan of. I love the disassembly, very simple. You know, even down to getting the barrel out is just as simple as 1, 2, 3. One thing to note is that when you pull back the slide, the last BB, if there is one BB in there, it will not eject out like the KJW SIG, but that's not really that big of a factor for me. It is kind of a nice addition, but you know, you want to get that last round out so your hop-up does have time to cool down or reform. So here's your barrel. And getting the barrel out, this is I believe a Garter or a Prometheus barrel with a little O-ring or washer so that it will sit properly and not bobble around. Very nice barrel, very accurate. And then the hop-up, I believe, is either a maple leaf or a Garter bucking. It's not the stock bucking, but it's very simple to take apart and put back together, just as is the real firearm, which I am now getting more into. Obviously, all you have to do is pull these two tabs down, this tab right here, and this tab right here, pull it back a little bit, and slide it straight off. Pretty much all you're doing is pulling that little tab down, which allows the barrel to slide out. Putting the slide back on, which is fully assembled, obviously, you're just going to put it back on and rack the pistol. It automatically locks in. You don't have to worry about any pins. The slide is a little wobbly, as you can see, but that is to be expected really on any pistol or firearm in general. Obviously on a real firearm you don't want a lot of play, but that is just kind of something you get with airsoft guns. There are versions of the KSC that do have a lot of trades and whatnot on it. This one is not one of those. But what I am a big fan of is the thumb rest. So you can do your thumbs forward very good and properly. The mag release is in the way, or not in the way of anything. It's just sitting right there, easy for your thumb. One thing I do want to do is get the extended slide release so that I can drop my slide a lot faster. So I don't have to fumble around with it. Even though it is right there and convenient, they do have little nubs on them, or just solder a little piece of lead on there. The two-stage trigger, that is another kind of gripe, because as you can see, the pistol is cocked back. I'm not touching the second stage at all, and it still fires. So that is just there for a look. It is on a spring, so it does have that that little bit of play, but it does kind of have a deep trigger pull, unlike a 1911, which is just there. but as soon as you pull the trigger back, it's very short. So it's long, but it's not very tough. It's very light. So the magazine I got with it is a 50 round magazine. If you know Devin Smith, that would be who I got this from. I do need to tighten down the gas valve a little bit, because every time I put it in, you can kind of hear a gas exchange. Racking the pistol. This, like I said, is a 50 round Glock magazine. I love the grip on it. It's very comfortable, ergonomic. It feels really good on your hand. Another thing about Glocks is, as you may know, they don't really have any sort of safety. The best sort of safety is always your finger. Keep your finger off the trigger. They're, like I said, very comfortable, ergonomic. I do not have my Glock holster yet, but it does fit in a SIG holster. It just doesn't lock. It retains it just fine. This is the SIG P229, P226 holster. It fits it just fine. Obviously, the finger doesn't really do too much. It just is kind of acting as a Kydex holster right now, but it doesn't wear anything down. This wear has been on there for the gun's duration of time. It's an old gun. KSC guns are decently old, especially Glocks. Anything Glock is worth something, because Glock has banned any replicas or whatever. Like I said, it's a 50 round mag, but another nice thing to consider about the magazines are when you pull it back all the way, they do lock all the way down. So when you do go to fill your BBs, you can just feed it in at the top, and you don't have to hold the feeder or the little spring-loaded lip down, which is always a nice thing for gas guns. So now let's show you a little bit of shooting of it. If you did notice, that is kind of one thing about this gun, is it starts out shooting really quietly and low, and then the spring almost kicks in and starts releasing more gas. I believe that's just the firing pin being old and kind of weak, so that will be one thing that I will be replacing, is that firing pin spring. It did kind of pick up and start firing a little bit more when I started shooting right here, but let's do that again. As you can see right now, it's shooting kind of quietly. Now it's shooting better. So I fired my 50 rounds off, you would think. This is another thing, just because the spring that is in here was not designed for this pistol. As you can see, there's still about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 rounds still left in the magazine. The spring just doesn't push up all the way. That's just a personal thing about this magazine. This is supposed to be a 30 round Glock mag, but it's a 50 round Airsoft mag. It's a decent mag. Obviously you want a mag that will feed all your rounds, but I did put a smaller spring in the bottom, and it did lock back every time. So if you can get a hold of one of these, it's a very nice gun. As you can see, as you shoot more rounds, it starts getting cold, and then you start to see the gas expel from the top. So I fired about 2 mag fills of BBs before it ran out of gas finally. It's a decently efficient gun because the spring isn't too heavy on it. It does have a metal slide, which is always a nice thing. In Airsoft, we like metal. Obviously, the lower receiver is plastic. That's a Glock thing. If you got a problem with that, bring it up with Glock, the actual manufacturer. The inside of the gun is just very clean, smooth, and just easy to work on. If you have any problems with it, everything's just right there. The hammer, I like the internal hammer. Doesn't get caught on anything. The only gripe someone might have is about a safety. Well, you know, on real Glocks, your safety's right there, and you know, that's just a kind of a personal opinion. I am growing on the Glock. I don't have a 1911 right now that is working, but so this has just been another short Airsoft Dude 1 production. Hope you guys have enjoyed seeing this gun as well as the other videos that I've been posting recently. Alright guys, thanks for watching. I'm out.